There is a version of you that existed long before anyone gave you a name, a pattern woven into your psyche, not by culture, not by upbringing, but by something older, a quiet force that shaped the way you feel, perceive, and move through the world. Most people never meet that version. They hear only the noise of the mind. But you're here because some part of you has already begun to suspect that the life you're living and the life your soul intended are not yet the same. This is not speculation. It's the exact point where a map begins to unfold. And if you stay with me for the next few minutes, you will start to recognize that map inside yourself. You won't just understand a concept, you'll begin to see the hidden outline of your own inner gift, the one you've carried since the very beginning. Part 1, the blueprint before breath, before your lungs ever tasted air. A direction was already set. Not a detailed plan, but a tilt of the soul. Carl Jung spent his entire life observing this phenomenon. He came to believe that the psyche does not arrive empty. It arrives with a kind of instinctive architecture, an inner blueprint that knows where to lean, what to absorb, and how to see. Think of it not as a hard script, but as a gravitational pull. A sunflower seed doesn't learn to turn toward the sun. It simply does, because the pattern is already inside the shell. That's how your spiritual gift works. It's not something you build from scratch. It's something you already are, waiting for the right conditions to break open. Look at very young children and you'll catch glimpses of this hidden design. One child sits for long stretches, arranging pebbles by size, completely absorbed, as if some inner order demands expression. Another child will press a hand to your chest when you're sad, not because anyone taught them empathy, but because a channel inside them is already tuned to the emotional frequencies of others. Some children talk to imaginary companions with such vivid detail that parents worry, but these are not random fantasies. Jung would say they are early dialogues with the unconscious, the first signs of a dreamer's gift. None of this is learned from the environment. The environment either nurtures these seeds or buries them under fear and conformity. Jung also pointed to the collective unconscious, a deep, shared layer of human memory. It's not personal history, but ancestral. Within this layer swim the experiences of countless lives before yours, their strengths, their sensitivities, their unspoken knowing. These traces don't disappear. They echo forward. A grandmother who knew how to calm a crying infant with just a hum might pass down more than a lullaby. She might pass down a vibration, a talent for quiet presence that awakens in her great-grandson when he holds his own child for the first time. This is not superstition. Modern studies on transgenerational patterns show that emotional dispositions and even stress responses can ripple across time, leaving an imprint on those who follow. When Jung says your gift has roots reaching back into your lineage, he's pointing to a psychological reality. Sometimes, the gift forms in response to fracture. The most delicate glass is shaped under intense heat. A child growing up in an unpredictable home may develop an acute sensitivity to micro-expressions, learning to read a mood before a word is spoken. That survival skill, over years, can transform into an extraordinary intuitive ability. You might walk into a room today and instantly feel who is suffering, who is hiding anger, who needs to be left alone. You might think this is just anxiety or hypervigilance, and some of it is, but underneath it's also a gift forged in fire. The wound becomes the door. That's not a poetic line, it's how psyche works. Archetypes are another key. Jung described archetypes not as stereotypes, but as living blueprints inside the unconscious. Some people carry the pattern of the healer, others the seer, the wayfinder, the keeper of quiet truths. These patterns don't announce themselves. They express themselves through quiet choices, through the way you naturally respond when someone is hurting, or how you can sit still and perceive layers that others miss. You might be the person friends always call when they need clarity, not because you studied counseling, but because a clarity archetype lives inside you. The gift is already operating through you every day, you just haven't given it a name. And here's the thing that makes recognition so difficult. Your gift feels ordinary to you. If you were born with perfect pitch, you'd assume everyone hears music the same way. So the gift goes unnoticed, not because it's hidden, but because it's too natural. Like breathing. Until one day, a situation forces you to pause and wonder, how did I know that? That pause is the first crack in the old shell. Part 2, the many languages of the soul. So what shape does this gift actually take? It doesn't appear as fireworks. It whispers through daily life in at least 4 distinct voices. As we walk through these, notice which one causes a subtle recognition inside you. That recognition itself is a clue. The first voice is intuition, the way of the seer. This is not guessing. It's a direct signal that arrives fully formed, without supporting evidence. You might be considering a job offer that looks perfect on paper, yet something inside quietly refuses. You can't explain it. Later, the company folds or the team reveals itself to be toxic. That's the seer's pattern. It's a kind of peripheral vision of the soul. Jung believed intuition was a channel to the collective unconscious, bypassing the slow machinery of logic. It's not magic, it's a faster operating system. People with this gift often feel uneasy when they ignore that quiet voice, because they've learned that the voice is rarely wrong. The second voice is empathic resonance, the way of the healer. This isn't just sympathy, it's a whole body experience of another person's inner state. You walk into a coffee shop and before anyone speaks, you feel the heaviness hanging over a stranger. You absorb moods like a sponge, and afterward, you carry an exhaustion that isn't even yours. The healer's gift is like an internal tuning fork. It sounds when it comes near someone else's pain. The danger is that many people with this gift think they are simply too sensitive and try to harden themselves. But that sensitivity is a precisely calibrated instrument. In Jungian terms, it's a permeable boundary that allows the unconscious of another to be glimpsed. Your soul touches theirs before any word is exchanged. The third voice is the dreamer's vision. For these individuals, sleep is not just rest, it's a studio where the unconscious paints its messages. Their dreams have architecture. Symbols repeat. Scenes from dreams return in waking life with astonishing accuracy. A dreamer might see a street in their mind, only to walk down that exact street days later and feel the ground shift beneath them. Or they might dream a conversation that later comes true, right down to the lighting in the room. Jung said dreams are letters from the unconscious. The dreamer simply has a more frequent postal service. This gift often frightens people at first, because it blurs the line between sleep and reality. But in truth, it's a language, and once you learn to read it, you gain a compass that never needs a physical map. The fourth voice is deep knowing, the way of the sage. This goes beyond quick hunches. It's a settled, grounded awareness that seems to speak in complete sentences, often in moments of stillness. People with this gift might be walking alone and suddenly know something with absolute clarity. A solution to a problem, a truth about a relationship, a warning about a path not to take. It feels less like thinking and more like receiving. The sage's gift is like a well that draws from a deep aquifer. Others might call these insights just wisdom, but the sage knows they didn't manufacture them, they arrived. Jung would see this as the self communicating with the ego, offering guidance in a voice that is both ancient and intimately your own. The common thread across all four? They operate through subtlety. A glance that reads a hidden sorrow, a dream that corrects your course, a bodily sensation that says turn around. These are not dramatic displays of power. They are quiet, persistent signals. And if you've ever said to yourself, I always seem to know things before they happen, or I feel too much, you're already naming your gift without realizing it. Part 3, Whispers of Awakening. Once you start noticing the shape of your gift, the next question naturally emerges. How do you know it's truly waking up, and not just your imagination? Jung said the soul doesn't awaken with thunder. It awakens like a door slowly opening a shift in the air rather than a loud noise. There are signs, and they're easy to dismiss if you're not paying attention. The first sign is a sharpening of intuition. You start to get feelings that are more than vague. They're precise. You think of someone seconds before they message you. You hesitate before a decision, only to discover later that your hesitation saved you from a hidden pitfall. This isn't a coincidence. It's the unconscious signaling that the bridge between you and deeper knowing is becoming clearer. The signals are short and clear, like a whispered word in a quiet room. A second sign is heightened sensitivity to atmosphere. You walk into a building and your body immediately registers tension or lightness. You can feel the emotional residue in a space even when no one is present. This is not emotional dysregulation, it's a new level of perception, like someone turned up the resolution on your inner screen. Jung described it as the thinning of the ego's armor. The protective shell that normally filters out subtle information begins to relax, allowing more of the unconscious world to be felt. It can be exhausting, but it's also a profound opening. A third sign is a shift in dream life. Dreams become more vivid, more narrative. They stop being random noise and start to carry thematic coherence. You might dream of a river crossing or a locked door that demands to be opened. You wake up feeling like you've been somewhere real, not just hallucinated. This is the unconscious using its native language, image, and symbol to speak directly to you. When this intensifies, it's a clear marker that the deeper psyche is engaging with the waking self. A fourth sign is a sense of déjà vu that feels more than a trick of memory. It's a moment of recognition, as if a scene was already inscribed somewhere inside you. Jung saw this not as a neural glitch, but as a convergence, the outer world momentarily aligning with an inner blueprint. It often happens at crossroads, when you're about to meet a significant person or make a life-changing choice. It's the soul's way of saying, this matters, pay attention. And a final sign is a quiet but persistent discontent with superficial things. Conversations that once entertained you now feel hollow. Activities that distracted you lose their appeal. It's not depression, it's a recalibration. The psyche is shedding old skin, preparing for something more aligned. Many people misinterpret this as a crisis, but it's actually the earliest stage of spiritual maturation. The surface is thinning, and the depth is rising. Part 4, The Resistance Within. Now, if all this sounds like a beautiful unfolding, let me pause. Because just when you think you're stepping toward your gift, something else rises to meet you. The shadow. Jung was emphatic. Before the light becomes steady, the shadow always arrives first. And the shadow's job is to convince you that what's awakening is dangerous, weird, or simply too much. The first form of resistance is self-doubt. You start to sense things, then immediately question your own mind. I'm making this up. I'm being irrational. I'm just overthinking. This voice sounds like reason, but it's not. It's the shadow's disguise. The shadow doesn't roar. It whispers that you're not special, that your perceptions are just ordinary anxiety. It uses logic to keep you from trusting the illogical gifts of the soul. Then comes fear of being seen. If you fully own your intuitive or empathic abilities, you'll have to show up differently in the world. You might need to set boundaries. You might say things that others find odd. And that triggers an old, deep fear, the fear of rejection. Maybe as a child you were told you were too dramatic or too sensitive. Maybe you learned to hide. Those early wounds form a protective layer that, in adulthood, becomes a shadow that keeps your gift hidden. You'd rather play small than risk being labeled strange, and so the most valuable part of you stays locked in the dark. Another face of shadow is the fear of losing control. The spiritual gift operates outside the ego's command. You can't decide when to have a powerful dream or when to feel someone else's pain. That unpredictability scares the rational mind. So it builds walls. I won't tune in. I'll stay busy. I'll ignore the signals. The shadow offers safety and routine in the familiar. But that safety is a cage. And then there's the fear of being overwhelmed. If you really open to the depth of your sensitivity, will you drown? Some people report that their empathic gift became so strong they couldn't enter public spaces without feeling blasted by others' emotions. That's terrifying. The shadow uses that terror to convince you that the gift is a burden, not a capacity. But what the shadow calls dangerous is actually untrained. The gift is not too much. You simply haven't yet learned how to hold it without collapsing. The key insight here: the shadow is not your enemy. It's a repository of everything you disown to survive. It contains not just fears, but also the very strengths you were taught to hide. When your spiritual gift knocks on the door, the shadow is the guard at the threshold. You don't fight the guard, you acknowledge it. You say, I see you. I know you're trying to protect me, but I'm ready. And then you walk through. Jung's most famous instruction applies directly here. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Facing that inner fear, the anxiety that this might all be nonsense, the worry that you're too fragile, that act of facing is exactly what unlocks the gift. So if right now you're feeling a subtle unease, a desire to close this video and think about something else, notice that. That's the shadow stirring. That's the threshold. And you're already one step closer. Part 5, the inner compass, true feeling versus mental noise. Once you're willing to walk through the door, a practical challenge appears. How do you tell the difference between a genuine inner signal and just the chatter of a worried mind? Both can produce strong feelings. Both can feel urgent. But they're not the same. Jung once remarked that the unconscious speaks through stillness and symbol, while the ego speaks through fear and repetition. Learning to distinguish them is the most important skill on this path. The first pair to untangle is intuition and anxiety. Intuition feels like a quiet, grounded certainty. It's a clear note, not a siren. You might have experienced it as a sudden knowing that you should take a different route home, without any panic. Later you find there was an accident on your usual road. That's intuition. Anxiety, by contrast, is loud and circular. It runs the same catastrophic scenario over and over and never leads to resolution. It makes your heart race and your thoughts spiral. The test? Does the feeling point toward a single clear action, or does it merely exhaust you? Intuition clears a path. Anxiety floods the map. A second confusion arises between empathy and emotional merging. If you're empathic, you feel others' states. But there's a line. When you can no longer tell which emotion is yours and which is theirs, you're in merging, not perceiving. True empathic perception is like seeing the color of a room. You register it without becoming that color. If you start crying because someone else is sad, and you carry that sadness all day, it's likely you've absorbed rather than observed. A simple practice. Ask yourself, was I feeling this before I encountered this person or this environment? If the answer is no, and the feeling lifts when you walk away, it's not yours. You borrowed it, and you can return it. Third, there's the distinction between guiding dreams and stress exhaust. Stress dreams are disjointed, frantic scenes about being late, about losing something, about chaos. They're the mind's recycling bin. Guiding dreams have a different texture. They're vivid, symbolic, and leave an emotional residue that lingers for hours. You wake from a guiding dream feeling like you've been told something important, even if the exact meaning isn't clear. The imagery repeats or evolves. If you write them down, you'll see a storyline over days. That's the unconscious composing, not just cleaning. So how do you navigate in real time? Pay attention to your body. Intuition often relaxes the shoulders, settles the gut. Anxiety tightens the jaw, accelerates the pulse. True emotion brings a calm, steady breath. Mental noise makes breathing shallow and ragged. The body is an honest meter. It doesn't lie. Jung wrote, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." The heart in his language is not sentimentality, it's the core of your being, the seat of integrated knowing. To distinguish signal from noise, you don't need to overanalyze. You need to get quiet enough to feel the difference. With practice, the voice of the soul becomes unmistakable. It's the one that never screams. Part 6, 3 everyday keys to your gift. At this point, you might be wondering, okay, but how do I actually uncover my own specific gift? Not theoretically, but really? Jung insisted that insight must be lived. So here's a 3-step practice that requires no special tools, only honesty. Step 1. Daily notation. For the next 3 days, carry a small notebook or use a notes app. 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. Write down one moment when you felt something deeper than surface level. Maybe it was a sudden feeling about a person. Maybe a dream fragment that stayed with you. Maybe a physical sensation that arose out of nowhere. Don't interpret it. Don't judge. Just capture it like a photographer taking a candid shot. These little notations are raw data from the unconscious. Most people ignore them. You're going to gather them. Step 2. Pattern seeing. After you have a collection of these moments, even just 9 or 12, spread them out before you. Look for repeating themes. Do you often sense others' hidden moods? Do you have uncanny gut feelings that turn out accurate? Do symbols or dreams recur? The gift never announces itself in one dramatic event. It repeats quietly over a lifetime. This step is about connecting the dots. You might realize, every time I ignore my first instinct, I regret it. Or I've always been the one who notices when someone is about to cry. That's the red thread. Jung called it the individuation path, the unique signature of your psyche. When you see it, there's often a quiet internal click, a feeling of recognition. Step 3. Tiny experiments. Once you suspect you have a certain orientation, let's say intuitive sensing, test it gently. For 1 week, when a small decision comes up, what to eat, which way to drive, whether to call a friend, Make the choice based on your first subtle feeling without overthinking. Note the outcome. If you lean toward empathic sensing, try this in a conversation. Tune into the other person's emotional state without trying to fix it. Just observe it silently. And afterward, ask yourself what you perceived. See if it matches their later words. If you're a dreamer, pose a question to yourself before sleep, something simple like, "What do I need to understand about this conflict?" And note whatever dream or feeling arrives by morning. These experiments are not about proving you're gifted. They're about witnessing whether your inner knowing has practical relevance. The gift is meant to be used, not just admired. This three-step process, capture, connect, confirm, is entirely grounded. You're not chasing mystical experiences. You're listening to a frequency that's already playing. And the more you listen, the clearer it becomes. Part 7, Living the Light. Knowing your gift is only the first half. Living it is the second. And Jung was adamant that a gift lived in alignment transforms not just your life, but the lives around you. Here are the principles that move you from recognition to embodiment. Principle 1. The gift is for service, not status. Having a sharp intuition or deep empathy does not make you superior. It places a responsibility in your hands. A gift used to feed the ego shrinks. It becomes a performance. A gift offered quietly in a listening ear, in a wise suggestion, in a moment of pure presence grows. It becomes a stream that nourishes many. The test is simple. When you use your ability, are you trying to impress, or are you trying to genuinely assist? The answer shapes everything. Principle 2. Synchronicity becomes language. When you live in accord with your inner calling, the external world starts to speak back. Meaningful coincidences, meeting exactly the right person, stumbling on the exact information you need, increase. Jung called this synchronicity. It's not luck. It's the alignment of inner pattern and outer reality. Think of it as a resonant frequency. When your soul's broadcast matches your actions, the universe becomes a mirror, reflecting opportunities that were always there but invisible until you attuned. Principle 3. Small light is still light. You don't need to shine like a star. A candle in a dark room changes everything. Your gift may express itself in the way you can soften a tense meeting with a single phrase, or in how you know exactly when to send a message to a struggling friend. The scale doesn't matter. What matters is that you allow the light you carry to actually reach others. Most people hide their light because they think it's not impressive enough, but the softest glow can guide a lost traveler home. Living the gift means your daily life becomes a walk with meaning, not because you're special, but because you've stopped running from what you are. You've agreed to be the person you were built to be, and in that agreement, peace begins to replace restlessness. Conclusion: we've traveled from the blueprint before breath to the living expression of your deepest pattern. If you've felt even a whisper of recognition during these words, trust that whisper. It's the part of you that is always known. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need to stop ignoring the quiet current that has been moving beneath your life from the very start. The world is loud, but your gift is patient. It will wait until you're ready to listen. And when you do, you'll find that what you were searching for was never outside. It was waiting inside, a steady companion on the long walk home. If this journey stirred something genuine in you, leave a single word in the comments, a word that captures what you sensed. It's a small act,